this time of the year you start to get a little goosebumps, I'd say, when it comes down. I mean, you get to travel in less than a week. I mean, everybody's ready to go. I think just talking to the guys and the coaches, I think we're going to be pretty prepared to go to Jacksonville and see what we can do.
What's different about this team than last year, coming off an NCAA tournament, and where you guys, what you've accomplished? What's different about you guys?
I think you just said it, kind of what we accomplished. We haven't really accomplished anything before last year. I mean, we went to a Big 12 championship game and ended up losing that. And then the next year we go to a regional and compete there and win 2 games. It's just, I don't know, we keep going up, keep climbing the ladder. So I think maybe this year, if we keep climbing the ladder, we'll end up maybe a super regional and see what happens from there.
How much does it help to have a lineup that's got so many familiar faces, pitching staff, with a lot of guys that have been back as well?
I think that helps you a bunch, guys that have seen the Big 12 tournament and been in a regional now. I think that really helps you on down the road. Older guys that have seen it and got the experience, I think it really helps you.
Teams take on identity. Sometimes it might be strong pitching, sometimes it might be strong hitting, defense. What do you anticipate or see from this team this year?
We got a bunch of returners on the mound. We got a bunch of guys that come back from the lineup. I think we only lost 3 guys out of the lineup, which is pretty good. Seeing most college teams, they usually lose a lot more than that. So I think just having veteran guys that have been in the situations we've been in the last 2 years, I think that could really help us.
Pretty versatile too. You got some power, you got some speed, you got a little bit of everything, don't you, with what you got out there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got guys on the base paths can really move around. We got guys can move it on the mound. We got a little power in there, so I think we should be all right.
It's a long season. Obviously, there's 56 games. I think last year, prior to Big 12, you guys were 8-7. How much do you need? Maybe a better start than what you had last year.
In the Big 12, or
Well, I said prior to the Big 12, you guys were 8-7 last year.
Yeah, it's just kind of. I think it's kind of hard going on the road to start the year every year. I mean, you obviously want to open up at home like some of these teams. We go down there and we open up on the road every year. It's tough, and we don't get to be outside a lot. I mean, today's one of the days that we can get out there, and I guess we're lucky for that because we're not out there very much. So that kind of slow starts here and there.
How do you adjust to that, being on the road so much to start?
It's tough. I mean, especially for freshmen coming in, they don't really know what to expect. You got some guys that you really need something to come out of early in the year, so it's kind of getting their feet under them and seeing how that goes. I think that could help getting them in the order.
You know, your skill set lended itself to professional baseball last year. What made you decide to come back, and what are some of the things you need to work on with your game?
I definitely wanted to come back. I mean, I take a lot of pride in wearing the gold and blue. I mean, it's a big deal to me, and just being from the state, and I think I love playing for West Virginia. I mean, my grandparents can sit up there, and my parents can sit up there and watch every game, so it's a big deal to me to come back and play, and kind of taking on a new leadership role. It's kind of been here 4 years, so it's kind of different from what I'm used to, but it's, I guess, yeah.
But every little boy wants to, when you grow up, you want to play pro baseball. That's the goal. And I mean, what are some of the things that you need to work on? Obviously, come back. That's part of the process. Or what are some things you got to work on?
Absolutely, every kid wants to play, especially being from a small town in West Virginia.
Right.
You definitely want to make it to be a pro baseball player. It's a kind of a big deal, but I don't know, to work on. Maybe swinging a little better. I'd like to maybe see some pitches a little better, not strike out as much. On defense, just kind of keep working hard, getting the early work, and just making all around my game a little bit better.
How much is that small ball tactics that we saw a lot of last year? How much is that going to come into play this year?
You know, I'm not sure. We got some guys that have hurt and then coming back, and you don't really know what the lineup's going to look like from year to year. But I think we're going to have the same amount of power. I think Marcus and some of those guys coming back could help us. But I mean, small ball, you never really know what's going to happen once you start the year. So we'll just have to see.
You guys obviously have a lot of guys coming back, but how difficult is it to replace guys like Jackson Kramer and Kyle Davis in that lineup?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, Jackson Kramer's here forever. I mean, it seems like he got big hit after big hit after big hit. So, you know, it's tough to replace somebody like that, a true West Virginia guy. So, I don't know. I mean, you have to have Marcus Inman and stuff, guys like that, to kind of step into that role and kind of see what happens.
You mentioned it's tough going on the road to start the year. Does it help, though? You did play Jacksonville, who came in here last year. You have at least a little bit of a background on them. Does that help at all?
A little bit, I think. I mean, some of these teams we start the year, we haven't really seen them. I mean, like Western Kentucky, I've never been here 4 years, never seen that. Or Canisius, I mean, we have seen them, but we haven't played them in 2 years. So, I don't know. To have a little background, I think does help us.
Any freshmen there, Danielle, so far?
We've got some okay infielders. I mean, Tristan Hudson and Dones is looking really good at third. I think they could step up and play a big role later on down the year.
What have you seen from the arms that you face team's arms. Do you like what you got pitching wise?
I do. I mean, especially with BJ and Dottie and those guys coming back, and Manoa. I think guys that have experienced, again, that Big 12 championship game or going to a regional, I think that really helps us, especially BJ and Dottie. Dottie coming back, I think, is looking really good, too.
How's he done, Dottie?
Really good, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
What I've seen, he's been doing really well.
Pretty incredible coming back from what he did. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been with him for 4 years here. He's my roommate, so seeing everything he's went through and to get through all that, it's really impressive.